On this episode of Nerd Dating, we're going to talk about how to grieve after a breakup. We're going to discuss, can you meet somebody at the grocery store? We're going to talk about, is it okay to ask your significant other, can you be a plus one to somebody else's wedding? Then we're going to break down, can you build intimacy and physical attractiveness again after it dies out of a relationship? And much, much more. So stick around and we're going to hop into it now. What's up, guys? Welcome to another episode of Nerdy Dating. I am your host, Zakka, and what is Nerdy Dating? It is a relationship advice podcast from a viewpoint of a nerd here in Kansas City, Missouri. And sorry, guys, I've been on a hiatus for about a month. A lot has happened in that past month. I had a bachelor party I went to, then turned around and my relationship ended, and then I went to a wedding. So between that span, I just wasn't in the mood and really had to work on something that I'm talking about on this episode. And I'm not gonna get into the details of my relationship because that's not out of respect to my ex. I won't do that to them. That's not fair to them. And it's not a good, the podcast is not really a good place to talk about the details of that. But I will talk about the grieving process and how I grieved after the relationship ended, and hopefully this helps somebody else. There's 3 ways that I grieve for myself that helped me, that this might help you if you're going through, a breakup or experiencing a form of loss. And the first thing that I did to grieve, previous me and previous relationships, I gave myself a 24-hour rule. I gave myself 24 hours to grieve, cry, moan, punch where I need, like punch a punchy bag, play sports, whatever the case I did, video games, to cope with it. Well, because of that kind of like that process, which does help when it comes to something short term, like a competition or something that's like a game where you have to get ready for the next game the next day. This did not, wasn't a 24-hour grieving process. For me, this was like a 2-week grieving process. The first thing I did was sit in it. Sit in it. The moment I felt myself reflect over the relationship, reflect over the loss, reflect over the relationship ending, I sat in it. I didn't run from it. I didn't try change my mind to something else. I didn't try to like push in the back and like, no, I'll worry about that later. No, I was like, you know what? I am sad. I feel lost. I wanted, something to last longer, and it didn't last longer. I sat in it and I just cried. I'll be honest with this podcast. I'll be upfront and honest. I'm not gonna hide anything from you guys. I cried. And I reached out to my friends and I just told them like, hey, I don't need advice. I don't need, what I need to do next, because I know what I need to do next. I don't need what this case would be or it's going to be all right. I don't need any of that. I just need somebody to sit in it with me. And luckily I have a good group of friends that were willing to do that with me and just let me break down. It hurts. It hurts. And just having them there to listen to me and just let me go through and process everything and just grieve with me felt better. So that's the number one, that's the first thing I would say when it came to me going through, a breakup, was to sit in it and not run away from my emotions. Let my emotions hit me and let them, let everything from, what if, and to maybe, or to the, could have done that better, could have done this better. I tried here, gave my best shot. It's not going to be the same. The future that I had in mind is not going to be the future that I will be living now. Sit in it and cried. And I cried for a few days, actually. I'm not gonna sit here and hide that. And it's not gonna demasculate me because of the fact that I'm talking about my emotions, the fact that I'm a human being, that I have such emotions, that I can tear up and let myself cry. Sit in it. Went through a breakup. It's not easy. You're grieving loss of something that you thought could be. You're grieving loss of somebody that you spent time with, that somebody that you message every day, somebody that was there when things went wrong, and you was there when things went wrong for them. That's no longer a thing. You wake up, your mornings are quieter now. That's a different shift. Especially when you went from speaking to somebody every day to the first thing you send to somebody is a text message, says good morning to them. That shift changes, and now you're sitting by yourself. That's a lot to bring in and a lot to adjust. Sit in it. Don't run from it. Accept it. Accept that this is the current situation that you're in, and accept it. Accept there might not be a going back. They may never be a going back. Not sure I said over that. So sit in it. Number 2, I did write myself a note. After I sat in for a few days, I wrote myself a letter. And a letter of, grieving Ali or current Ali or past Ali. Say, hey, how you doing, bud? The world you think you was going to live in the next, 80 years of your life, next 60 years of your life are not that. Yeah, life happens, but you'll be okay. And give myself a letter. Write myself a letter just saying like, hey, if you want to give me a chance to write out my thoughts, give me a chance to kind of more accept it and grieve in it and accept like, hey, this is the new reality that you're living in. Give yourself that idea. And that's what that letter is for. To let you, another form of grieving, another form of saying, this is not the future that you expected. Another form of let that future, die out in a sense and accept the current reality that you're living in. Write the letter. And then 3, listen to music and reflect. Adele has always been my breakup person. Adele has always been my breakup person. I go to Adele when I'm with a breakup and when I'm feeling sad. And just for some reason, the words of her songs resonate with me the most. And currently, Billie Eilish is another one who music has resonated with me a lot. The Party Over is a song that I've listened to multiple times. And their lyrics speak to me. And their lyrics help calm me, help me reflect. So listening to music is my way of also grieving the process of reflection and understanding like, hey, that's what happened in that relationship. What did we like out of it? What did we didn't like out of it? What could we have done better? What would we not, accept in the next relationship? What do we look for in the next relationship that won't put us back into this situation in the next relationship? Those things that you're looking at, and then take down a note, jot down the good, the bad, what would you accept, what you want to accept, and look for the positive in the next relationship. And you see something in the next relationship that could be a flag, instead of ignoring it or saying, it's not the same thing. If you already been through that, process twice in a row, why put yourself in that process the third time? Now, that might not be a healthier way to look at it, but it's also a way that way what looks like at the end of the corner, around the corner. Sometimes you don't need to go around the corner to see what's around the corner when you know what's around the corner. So that's how I've been grieving. That's how I process my breakup. And that's how I, work on reflection and being better and being more a healthier mind space after my relationship ended. And thus, get back to things that I enjoy doing. Just recording something I enjoy doing, just giving you guys advice and helping you guys help with your relationship journey, your dating journey, excites me. And just getting back on that horse and moving after a month, it's worth it. So I took time away, and that's how I grieve my relationship. And I hope these tips help you out. So the first one is to sit in it. Sit in it. Let yourself grieve. Let yourself cry. Let yourself, feel that relationship. Let yourself process it. Don't run away from it. Don't hide it. Don't pack it up and say, I'll deal with that later, deal with it the next day, because it's gonna ball up and explode later on. Sit right there and take it moment by moment And when you're thinking like, okay, I'm doing better, I'm feeling better about life, and when those moments hit you, take a moment to sit there for a moment and think like, yeah, that would have been cool. But also that happened. And you know what? I think we're both in a better place for it. So, like, take those moments and sit there and acknowledge that and understand, like, hey, heartbreak sucks. It's not easy, but here you go. And from you guys who listened to me from day one, y'all know my journey. Y'all see my journey right now, and here we are, moving forward. Yeah, this is part of it. But yeah, number one is sit in it. Number two, write yourself that letter. And that's actually a tip I picked up from John Deloney. He told me, write yourself a letter all the time and write that letter. I picked that up from him, and it helps me out a lot, just writing that letter and being better about it and just processing stuff that way. I have a notebook now, a journal that I write stuff in because it helps me process it. And then number three, listen to music and reflection. That's really what it is. Certain songs for me resonate for me, and Adele and Billie Eilish has become two of my comforters when it comes to music. Adele always been there, but Billie Eilish has stepped in, which I never considered myself a Billie Eilish fan ever. And all of a sudden, here's some of her music, and now she's stuck with me. So shout out to those two. But the reflection that comes with some of the lyrics that they have and some of the songs they have, it hits me. I'm like, man, that lyric plays a part right here in my life right now, and will resonate with it, reflect on it, and just grow from it. So yeah, those are my 3 tips on how to grieve after a relationship has ended or how to deal with a breakup. 1, sit in it. 2, write yourself a letter. And 3, listen to some music that matches how you're feeling and reflect. Don't use it as anger. Don't listen to like angry music. Like, listen to it to reflect and how to process it and how to move forward. All right, we got a listener's question coming up, and this is from JoJo the Great. They asked a question towards one of my TikTok videos in a former episode where I tell people how you can meet somebody if you don't go out. And I was like, the dating apps is one way to meet people if you don't go out enough. If you don't go out on the town or go to, bars and museums and just explore your city. If you don't get out enough because of work, the gym, life itself, kids, family, how do you meet people? The dating apps is a way to meet somebody. Well, JoJo the Great asked this one question. I'm just saying, why can't I meet them at the grocery store? My response is, you 100% can. And let's break that down. You can 100% meet somebody at the grocery store. Matter of fact, I think it's one of the best ways to meet somebody is out in the wild at the grocery store or a coffee shop. Maybe at a coffee shop, because sometimes people go there to dress up and they look, they put it on a facade sometimes. But the grocery store, to me, is probably one of the best places to meet somebody because they're not dressed up. They're probably dressed down. They're probably wearing sweats. They're probably wearing yoga pants or a hoodie or a t-shirt. Probably no makeup on. They're not dressed strapped to the nines. It is literally probably the closer you'll meet somebody in their natural state when they want to walk out the house. It's probably the closest you'll meet somebody in their natural state before they walk out the house. If I'm going to a grocery store run, I'm not dressing up to the 10s and to the 9s and with a suit on or with a like I'm going out to a bar or going out to a fancy establishment. I'm not dressing up like that. I am throwing on jeans and a quarter zip right here, which actually I did go to the grocery store wearing this. I'm about to wear this at work today because it's super chill. But I'm not. If it's my day off, I'm wearing sweats and a t-shirt. I'm going to go to the grocery store in sweats and a t-shirt. Shorts and a t-shirt. I'm going to go to the grocery store in shorts and a t-shirt. I'm not going to go to the grocery store, dressed up as fancy. So one of the best places to meet somebody probably would be the grocery store because you're getting them in their most natural beauty. You're not getting them dressed up. You're not getting them, trying to show off. They're literally going there for a mission that's getting groceries and dipping. So you meet somebody while they're getting groceries, perfect. You already know it, and they catch your eye. Somebody in the grocery store catch your eye, you already know right then and there that you're 1,000% attracted to them. There's no question about that. Then from there is how to make your approach. So the grocery store approach. There's a way to do it. There's a couple of ways actually. The first one, if you cross their paths and they acknowledge you, you look at each other, make eye contact, and you smile or wave and they smile or wave back. Okay, and then right there, at least you know they want to be somewhat, they're at least somewhat friendly. And I probably wouldn't approach them on the first go through. Like if I walk past somebody, I smile at them, and they smile back at me. I probably wouldn't like approach them right there. And they're very busy doing their thing. Now, if we came across each other the second time, let's say we're in the same aisle by happenstance, then right there I might say, hey, might put bring up conversations, especially if I've seen them looking at something like looking at bread. And I'll probably like, oh, what kind of bread what kind of meal you plan on making? Throw out something that it's not like me trying to hit on them. It's just me trying to drum up conversation. And if the conversation goes well and we're having a good banter back and forth, then I might say, hey, it's nice talking to you. It's okay, I get your number. Or, good time meeting you here. It's okay, I take you on a date. Because your thing is, you meet somebody in that kind of situation, you want to get to know them on a different level. You want to get to know them on like a romantic level. So therefore, you want to at least try to get them on a date right then and there. I wouldn't sit there and text and spend days texting. I would text, maybe say, hey, are you free? It's nice meeting you today. Are you free sometime later this week or next week? That's one way you can do it. Another way you can meet somebody in the grocery store is in the grocery line. Now, back in the day, before cell phones were a thing, grocery lines were probably one of the best ways to meet somebody. You're standing in line for a cashier and they said the line is too long. Like, man, this line is really long. If you said it out loud and somebody else next to you picks up and had a conversation with you about how long the line is, like, oh yeah, you're right, man, it's a long line. I've happened to me before at Walmart, waiting in line wasn't even the cashiers, it was just like, Walmart had to close in 30 minutes, something like that. I had to go late, and I'm in line at the self-checkout, and everybody else in line at self-checkout, and I remember having a conversation with a family. There was a guy, his wife, they about saying volleyball, because I just came from saying volleyball, they just came from saying volleyball, and we just had a conversation about saying volleyball. How they opened me up, they literally said, this line is ridiculous. And I was like, man, you're right. And they just start talking about like just shooting the breeze. That kind of stuff. But also don't put pressure on yourself. You see somebody attractive, don't be like, oh, this is the moment, I gotta say something. No. Just casually open up the conversation, look in their basket. You see they have something in the basket, like you want to speak to that. Now let's say you saw they had, cake batter in their basket. And you're like, oh, what kind of cake you plan on making? And they're just like, vanilla. Okay, well, you got your answer. Don't pry her anymore, because they're not trying to give it back and forth. They just like vanilla, and that's it. And they look at the tone. I said vanilla, like my tone even shit. Now it's like vanilla, and I was like, oh, okay. What kind of icing? Like, they go back and forth, but their tone sounds like, I'm making vanilla cake for so and so, and they open up with more than just a blanket answer. But the tone also gonna say something about it. Another thing we'll think about when you're going to talk to somebody at a grocery store, look at it, see if they want to be approached. If they have headphones on, they look like they're not happy. They look like they, mind their own business, hooded up or hat on, or they're zeroed in and just trying to get out the way. Don't try to have a conversation with them. But if there's somebody who look like they want to be approached, and you can tell when somebody wants to be approached. They'll look at you, probably give a little smile, a smirk, whatever it can be, an acknowledgement of who you are. That's most likely somebody that you definitely want to talk to. But I wouldn't do the first go around. Like I said earlier, I wouldn't try to talk to them on the first time. If I happen to come across them again and another hour or a third time come across them, we're just having to keep, circling each other in the same spot at the grocery store, then I'll probably say something. Because by that time, we are familiar with each other. We know that we both nobody trying to do anything malicious. We're literally just trying to, get groceries and just keep bumping into each other, and might as well have a conversation. That happens to me more times than I think about now. Like where I would walk through a grocery store aisle and I'm just looking for something, bump into somebody else who's doing the same thing, so we cross paths and we acknowledge each other like, oh, you're on this aisle too, like, right? Funny. Well, have a good day. You too. But if I want to get somebody's number in that situation, I'll be like, oh yeah, what are you looking for? And have this conversation back and forth and open up from there. So that's the way to meet somebody at the grocery store, is to, one, acknowledge them. They acknowledge you. If you come across each other again, create that familiarity, you gotta be familiar with each other, then maybe open up about what they're planning on doing, or what they plan on cooking, or how they plan on dealing with the meals, and even the grocery line, and you're waiting, and you throw out a comment about like, the long line, or what's going on in the day, and everybody else, that person jumps in with you. There you go. But here's the thing. Currently, with you sitting in that line, most people have their phones. And most people are on their phones typing away. I'm not sure you can hear this. Probably can hear that. Typing away. Or swiping away. Or looking at Instagram or Facebook or whatever the case may be. Reading an article. So most people are going to be hard to crack when they're in a line. But when they're out moving about, that's probably the way to get somebody. And I had a story actually with that a few days ago. I saw somebody at the grocery store. Walmart. Saw her. I was like, wow, she's good looking. I acknowledged her. I said, hey, smile. And she smiled back at me. It's like, oh, okay, cool. Mind my own business. Kept going. Then I went to look at the jewelry section, and guess who happened to be there? The girl again. I was like, oh, okay, this is my moment. And my moment didn't last long because there was another guy who was like maybe like a little bit down like the aisle from her, and he started saying something to her, and she started saying something back to them, and I was like, they know each other, or this is their moment where they're hitting on each other, whatever the case may be, and I just slowly backed out. Like, oh, don't want to be involved in that conversation. Backed out and kept on going. Did I take an L? Possibly. Who knows? But at the end of the day, I was like, I saw somebody, thought about talking to him, but they ended up talking to somebody else. Instead of being a jerk and going, I'm going to go ahead and you know, cop block, lack of a better term, or block somebody, I'm not going to do that. I'm going to let them have a conversation, not be rude, and mind my own business and keep going. See them in the future, who knows what happens. But yeah, that's one of my examples. Seeing somebody at the grocery store, which almost, you know, got that situation where I talked about, like, you acknowledge each other, coming across each other a second time. If I wanted to try, and she was by herself and kind of looking at something and looked at something with her, like, you know, make a comment and go from there and see what happens. She's probably like, who are you? Go away. And that's the case. I'll just walk on off. And she's like, no, have a conversation with me. We'll talk and keep it going. So there you go. You 100% can meet somebody at the grocery store. And that's going to end that part of this episode, the questionnaire answer. All right. TikTok time. So this is from Kids 108. The question they have here is, should she break up with him before or after the Olivia Rodrigo concert? So her boyfriend got her tickets to Olivia Rodrigo a couple months ago, and she's thinking about breaking up with him. So let's see what this whole thing is about.
My boyfriend got me some Olivia Rodrigo tickets a couple months ago for my birthday.
Yeah.
And it is the only thing I asked for. And I know they're super expensive, but I just need to go. I'm like, I love her, and the concert's coming up, but our relationship has been terrible lately. We had, even this past Easter weekend, we didn't even spend it together. I was with my family. He was with his family. And it was just terrible. And I'm ready to break up with him, but I really want to go to the concert this week.
Are your tickets for tonight or tomorrow night?
They're for tomorrow night. And I'm like, it's bad. It's really bad. And I'm ready to just call it quits. But the tickets are in his email.
So you're saying, but 100% you're breaking up with this guy at some point?
Yesterday, if possible, but I need to go to this concert. There's no way
You can't go to this concert. You can't do that to him. You cannot do that to him. These tickets are expensive. Let him sell them to somebody else.
Also, would you even have a good time at the concert with him?
Oh, I'm going to have a great time.
She could sing all the breakup anthems right next to him. Break up with him at the concert.
Oh, my God.
That's terrible.
My boyfriend got...
Yeah. Okay, so she should break up with him. I get it, he got the tickets for her birthday, but, like, she should break up with him. She's not happy. She said she would have broke up with him the day before, but she's only staying with him for the relationship and for the concert. That's what she's staying with him for, just for that concert, and then she's gonna break up with him. Yeah, she should break up with him, and hopefully, if he's planning on, because I would like to say, hopefully, if he knows he got the tickets for her and for her birthday, he should 100% still give her the tickets and not just be malice about it. Like, just say, here's your tickets, here you go, enjoy the concert. Versus her staying with him and he's thinking everything's great, which, I don't know, they didn't spend Easter together, so maybe they not watch the holidays, so maybe they're not great. And maybe he knows it's coming down the corner or coming around the block or coming around the corner that they're going to break up. Maybe he knows. And maybe he's planning, I don't think he's planning on breaking up with her, but she's 100% out the relationship. She established it. She should break up with him. she'll break up with him, and the best case scenario, he gives her the ticket. She's good to go have fun at the concert. The worst case scenario, he gives the tickets to someone else, but at least she's not stuck in something or create a memory with somebody that she didn't want to create a memory with. Because let's say they go to the concert together and they might fight each other. Like he said, are you sure you're gonna have a good time? She's like, I'm gonna have a good time. But they're not doing well right now. Who knows what can happen at that concert? It could be one of the worst concert experiences she ever had. So I think she 100% should break up with him, and hopefully he gives her the concert tickets because that is her birthday present. But what he does with the tickets is up to him. That's just a risk she's have to take. All right, let's keep it moving. So this next one here is it okay to ask for a +1 to someone else's wedding? And let's see what this one's
My
about.
boyfriend that I've been with for over a year, he was invited to his best friend's wedding, like super best friend's wedding, without a +1. Okay, that's problematic. But then his other friend's girlfriend texted me the other day, what am I wearing to the wedding? Showing me pictures of her dress that she's wearing.
Okay.
We've been together for like less than 3 months. What
Babe,
is that
it's
about?
not my I don't know how many times I can say this. It's not my wedding.
But does your friend, if he's really a good friend, does he have something against Candace? Why didn't you get a +1?
No, I think he's just closer to other people, and it's not a huge wedding. It's a very small budgeted wedding. I think he invited the people who he can afford to invite, and him and Candace don't
Who
really
he can
talk
afford
like
to
that,
invite?
they're not
How about he
friends.
invited the people that he respects?
I'm going to the wedding. I've been friends with this guy for a long time. I'm going to the wedding.
Would you ever nicely ask as a buddy if it really is one of your best friends? Like, hey man, my girl really wants to go. Is it possible to get a +1?
I mean, I just think that's awkward because I kind of already know what his head's at. I think he wants the people that he invited. So it's like, I don't know why she can't ask. She has to be there. She doesn't even know the people like that.
Will you break up with Akeem if he doesn't invite you or find a way to get you to this wedding?
Hear him talk right now? Yes. If he doesn't at least ask, my boyfriend that I've been.
Yeah, so is it okay to ask for a +1 at someone else's wedding? No, I don't think it's okay to ask for a +1 because if you wasn't invited to the wedding and your significant other was invited and you found out that somebody else is going to that wedding, another friend is going to that wedding, and they got the +1, but you didn't get the +1, I wouldn't sit there like, I need to be +1, I need to be invited to the wedding. I wouldn't do that because one, you're going to a wedding that you already know you didn't want to be or you wasn't invited to, so you're gonna go in there and be mad at them or just like, I'm here, like, why would she put herself in that situation to do that? To go to a wedding, go to somebody else's wedding that she wasn't invited to, so people like, she got a +1, but I didn't get a +1. The boyfriend's right, like, hey, that's their wedding. That is their wedding. He didn't give me a +1. They probably ran out of space. Another friend, probably who's closer to the groom and bride, who probably been a longer friend in the groom to this guy, to the groom and bride. They was like, okay, you get a +1. We like you more, or not even to say like you more. We just, you're closer to us than this friend. So hey, we'll give them a +1. But sorry, bro. Like, I'm sorry, we just ran out of spaces. We can't give you a +1. Is that okay? And he probably like, yeah, cool. I'm gonna come to this wedding. I'm here to support you guys. The girlfriend doesn't have a right, to me, doesn't have a right to say like, well, I need to be invited to this wedding too. If what's his name girlfriend gets invited to the wedding, they've been dating for 3 months and we've been dating for a year, the bride and groom doesn't care about that. The bride and groom doesn't care how long your significant other is dating. They gave one person a +1. They didn't give the other dude a +1. So be it. She doesn't have a right to even do that. That's outlandish to me for her to do that. All right, next video here. This is from Dimagio Soto. I feel like I just destroyed this dude's last name. I apologize. But he goes, 3 worst text messages to send girls. So let's see what these text messages are. Here we go.
3 worst text messages to send girls if you're trying to tap in. And I hope you know what I mean. Tap in. And save this just in case you get a girl in like a week. Or you might need this later. 1. What are we? Don't ever ask that. Because now you over here got the girl thinking, oh, he wants a relationship. He's moving too fast. Bro, just vibe, bro. That's the thing nowadays is you dudes are like girls. You need validation in an official name. You need to make things exclusive. Stop doing that, bro. You are a man. 2, what's your...
Let's pause on that. Whoo! Let's pause on that. Okay, hold up. The dude just said, what are we? It's something you should never text a girl. How old are we? No, like, you should ask that question. Now, do you ask that question a week of dating? Do you ask that question within 2 months of dating? Do you ask that question within, a month of dating? Like, no. When you feel comfortable asking that question, if you want to ask that question, 2 months in, 3 months in, go for it. I wouldn't ask after date 1. I wouldn't ask after date 2. I wouldn't ask after date 3. But 2 months in, I'll ask the question. In fact, I wouldn't even ask it. I would say, hey, I'm really feeling you. I enjoy spending time with you. I have a good time with you. Would you like to be my girlfriend? Now we're going to be exclusive. Would you like to be my girlfriend? Get that out the picture. Go straight to the point. Not asking what are we, because what are we, it's putting it in her ballpark. If you're feeling some kind of way, you want this person that you're talking to be your significant other, ask them to be your significant other. But I wouldn't, and what are we? If you're not sure, and you're like, okay, are we friends? Are we not friends? Are we boyfriend, girlfriend? Are we not boyfriend, girlfriend? Or are we exclusive? If you're going to question that, go straight to the point and say, hey, I like to be, you can ask what are we, and see what they say, but then be like, hey, you know what? I want to be your boyfriend. I want to be your significant other. I want to be, not just exclusive. I want to be in a relationship with you. Let's label it. He's like, oh, you should be trying to throw a label on it and vibe. No, if you've been vibing for 2 months, 3 months, 6 months, throw a label on it. What else do you have to lose? Throw that label on it. All right, let's continue this video.
Your favorite color? Stop doing this, bro. All that little stuff does not matter no more. That's like some middle school stuff, bro. Half of the time, let's be honest, we ask girls that and don't remember in a week. Because that's not what we care about. We trying to have a relationship, not paint each other's nails. 3, saying hey.
Okay, that's some really toxic masculinity right there. But the ask what's your favorite color is just a basic question that really leads to nowhere. I agree with him on that. It's a basic question that leads to nowhere. It's just small talk. Now, if you're asking what your favorite color to get a gift for somebody or do something for somebody, or you want to set something up, okay, there you go. But just to ask that question with no context behind it, yeah, that's not really a good question to ask. You're not really you're not learning something about somebody by asking that question. Yes, you might know what their favorite color is, but that's very surface level. And he's talking, you want to get into a relationship. Well, they ask that question, what are we should help you get into a relationship? So he's contradicting himself in his own video. All right, last piece here. I think he said the question is say hey.
Stop saying hey. You are a man, bro. And don't even get me started on the dudes who extend it with extra Y's. Y'all could kick rock. Follow me for more advice.
Why you being toxic? You are a man, bro. You are a man. Don't be saying hey. I'm sorry for going in on this guy because he probably doesn't deserve that. But hey is not a good conversation opener either. Good morning. How you doing? What's your day look like? Can I take you out? Those are things you can open up with. Hey, hope you're having a good day. Thinking about you, kind of thing. But they'll be like, hey. Especially on a dating app, if you're trying to slide, talk to somebody, I don't say slide in somebody's DM. And you slide into somebody's DM, I wouldn't say hey. I would say, hey, found, hello, so-and-so. I saw your, profile on X, Y, and Z. And I know this is awkward, but I figured I'll get ahead of everybody by shooting my shot via Instagram. That's me. That's how I would do it. Now, has it worked? No, not really. Actually, one person did. No, the one person that did respond back to me on Instagram, I saw they went to a concert and I asked, how was the concert? How would you rate it? And they responded back to me. Other than that, most people didn't respond to the shoot your shot thing. But if you're going to slide into somebody's DM on Instagram, probably slide it into something regarding a story to get a better, response out of that. But just to open with hey leads nowhere. Hey's not a good opener. I wouldn't leave with that to save my life. No. So I do agree with him on the last two, but I want to tell you, because you're a man, bro, you should be doing that. I wouldn't do all that. It's too much toxicity there. We don't need that masculine toxicity. We don't need that. Nah. Just the first one to ask, what are we? I would ask that question if you're not sure, but then tell that person, like, if you just want to hear what they're going to say with that, but so that way you don't feel hurt. No. Straight to the point. Say, hey, I want to be in a relationship with you. That's what I want to go with here. And then as far as, the other two, I do agree with him, but I don't like the way he handled the way he said that stuff. All right, Reddit time. Let's get into it. So this first one goes, is it a deal breaker that I've never been in a relationship? I'm a 25 male. Unfortunately, I've never been in a relationship and I have never been romantically intimate with a woman. I'd be lying if I said I'm okay with it. It really bothers me. I'm really insecure about it. I'm trying to work on it. But right now, I can't help but think about it almost every minute of every day. I'm just worried that whenever a woman finds out that I never had a girlfriend before that, it's not worth their time. I'm worried it will be an automatic deal breaker. Is this a big deal or a deal breaker that I never had a girlfriend before, or am I way overthinking this? It's not a big deal or a deal breaker, and you are way overthinking it. All three of those. Let me give you a little backstory about myself. I never had a serious girlfriend until college. So 20. And I remember telling, it was one of my biggest fears at that time. It was such a goofy thing to think about to this day, was that I didn't want to die a virgin. That was my thing. I know, right? I was like, I just want to experience that. I just want to know experience, but I wasn't trying to sleep with anybody. I wanted to have a particular, I wanted the right person. I wasn't trying to wait to marriage, but also at the same time, I wasn't trying to sleep around. I just wanted the person that I felt with the right time, the right relationship to be, intimate with in that sense. And I remember there was some ladies who was like, oh, you never had a girlfriend? You never, you're a virgin? Like, wow, you are, a unicorn. And it almost became like I was like a prize in a sense, because I never, lost it. And at that time, nobody looked at me like, why? Are you weird? No, and people were just like, oh, what? They would ask the reason. And I would say, I just never met somebody who was right for me at that time. Like, I just haven't met that person who I meshed with and felt a good, strong connection with. And every time I'd be like, I get you. I understand you. And that's the same thing for you. You haven't found somebody that you've been, just had that connection with yet. It's not gonna be a deal breaker. Heck, more than anything, it probably puts you more as a higher value to some ladies, because you're not out here in the streets, sleeping around with every lady that walks by. You're waiting for whatever the case may be, whatever the reason why you're waiting for that. And I'll say, you know what? Don't rush it. It will come. It will come. No pun intended. Yes, your time will come. No pun intended. I'm a grown adult here. It will come. It will come. So do not rush that. Take your time. Now, what you can do during this time is get out and start meeting people. Go talk to people. Build that confidence up where you can go talk to somebody and meet somebody out in public. Meet somebody out at the grocery store, at a coffee shop, or wherever place may be. 25 years old, you probably just not graduating college. This is probably the top opportunity your senior year to talk to people in your college, in the library, or at sporting events, or you like going places and go to certain bars, watch a sporting game, and you see somebody and you have a conversation with them. And it doesn't have to be just ladies. It could be a bunch of group of guys, and then they meet you. They get you to meet different ladies in their circle. Maybe they have friends, female friends, who are looking for a dude, and then you come into that circle. Boom, there you go, and you have a conversation that's casual about sports or about whatever thing you're into, Marvel, whatever thing you're into, and then that branches out, and next thing you know, you have yourself a significant other that you're intimate with. So I know I just made that whole scenario up there, but it's not a big deal, and it's not a deal breaker. Some ladies gonna love the fact that you are, not intimate with anybody, and you're already overthinking this. Take your time. You're 25 years old, man. Heck, for me, my late 20s, early 30s, like from 28, I'm 31, so late 20s and 30s is like when I, got the most attention from women. It wasn't when I was 24, it wasn't when I was 25, it was when I was in my late 20s and 30s. Next question. Went on a second date and the girl ended up rejecting me afterwards. Hey everyone, I recently went on a second date with a girl and I had been interested in for a little bit. We both college students and we really hit it off on the first date and we ended up scheduling a second date which took place yesterday. I thought the date went really well, but her communication seemed a little off. Afterwards, she hadn't responded for a bit or so. I sent her a text asking if everything was okay. Second date, everything's okay. She responded by saying that she felt I wanted a relationship and felt that she couldn't commit to something like that. She also said she had other things to focus on and couldn't do a relationship. She expressed that she had commitment issues during the date, so I wasn't very surprised by her response. I felt the response was valid, but was confused why it took her so long to respond. Any thoughts? She was trying to ghost you. She told you she had commitment issues. You stated somewhere during that date that you want a prior relationship. She's not ready for a relationship. She might thought the date would be a fun date that could lead to something else, but you don't want that. You want a relationship. She saved you the trouble. She saved you the hassle. And she told you that, hey, this is what I want. I don't want commitment like you do. I haven't removed myself from the situation. But she was trying to ghost you and you end up asking, hey, what's going on here? And that's when she had to come clean. Kudos to her for coming clean. And good for you for asking this. Now you know where you stand. Pretty much, man, she's not the one for you at this time. Keep it moving. All right, next question. Should I confess to my coworker before I leave and won't see him again? I've been working for the past 7 months at this job, and within another month, my contract ends. I'm going to university. I have had very strong feelings for my coworker since beginning, although I'm not sure if any of it's mutual. He's very friendly with me. We can make each other laugh, and his friends, who are short-term interns at the same company, seem to absolutely love me. 2 days ago, me, him, and another guy had a funny conversation about sex and dating life. We're very unprofessional. Okay, we have to don't put all the extra stuff in there. We get it. You're being unprofessional in your free time. And it had nothing to do with one another. At some point, it came forward that I suck at flirting when I had a big crush on a person, and him specifically advised me to just tell the guy I like him. He's going on a little vacation soon, meaning after today I won't see him anymore except for 2 more days. I think about him a lot, but I honestly not sure what he thinks of me. My dating life overall freaking sucks, and this guy is really nice and cute and so fun to be around. I'm not sure if I should confess as a girl to a male coworker, and if it matters if I never see him again. All right. Well, you should definitely say something to him. If your contract ends within a month, so you know you're not going to be working that job anytime soon, he's going on vacation, and you probably won't see him when you leave, and he comes back, you guys probably be gone. You should tell him. You say, hey, or get his number, or get some kind of contact and say, hey, I'm crushing on you. I don't even say I'm crushing, like, hey, I really like you. I think we have, I'm feeling some feelings for you. I kind of like you. Can we go on a date? And go from there. It's okay to ask him out. Like, go for it. What's the worst? The worst case scenario would be no. You plan on going to university afterwards, so you probably won't see him after this. You have nothing to lose. Ask him out. You get a month left for the job. Go for it. But let's see. She did respond back. Said, thank you for all the replies. I decided I'm going to tell him. However, the day itself, I chickened out mainly because we didn't have a single second with just us. And our company is small and not even private, any privacy in the break rooms or the bathroom. FYI, he already has my number and now my Snapchat too because I got him recommended and we add each other. We don't text apart from work-related things. Attempt to read his body language. This man is so freaking autistic, ISTG. It's hard to read. Rejection is highly possible, but I'm willing to try some anyways. How do you know that? I wouldn't say that. I gotta wait a week though because we aren't scheduled together next week. Any approaching tips are welcome, mainly because, why is she talking like this? We have no privacy and the interns who are his friends are also always present, which turns stuff awkward. She said cuz, C-A-U-Z. What? You got his Snapchat, you got his text, he got your phone number. I wouldn't call them autistic. That's crazy to say that about somebody who you don't diagnose somebody unless they told you this. Yeah, you get a Snapchat, message them on Snapchat and say, hey, I like you, want to get drinks or something. Go from there. Or you want to go get coffee or ice cream or whatever the case would be. Go from there. You already have a Snapchat. The door is open. Kick the door down. All right. Last one here. We'll call it episode. Can physical attraction ever come back? In the beginning of any relationship, it's seen that physical attraction seems to be the highest. This is accompanied by feelings of nervousness and even some butterflies due to the overwhelming amount of attraction you have for an individual. However, over a long period of time, it seems that some of this attraction tends to diminish as you start to become a lot more familiar and comfortable with the other person. The routine can take some of the excitement away to some extent. However, let's say that for whatever reason, over a long period of time, this attraction seems to have disappeared completely. Perhaps the girl is more like a roommate than a romantic partner. My question is, once men lose attraction for a girl, can it ever come back? Or is it a lost cause? If it has come back for you, what needs to be done? Example, a break apart? You don't need to break up to get attraction to come back. You're trying to get intimate again? You don't need that. Okay. So let's put this out here. A normal relationship, a healthy relationship, people consider boring. And that's not the case. Not all healthy relationships need to be boring. But yes, you're right. You do get stuck into a routine. You start going about your daily life, and then you kind of stop putting effort towards a relationship towards each other. One, bring it up to your partner about, hey, we want to be more intimate. I know we kind of get a little stagnant. I noticed that, I feel a little stagnant. And start saying hey, I want to put more effort in. What that could be like, hey, let's go ahead and plan dates. Let's start planning dates. Let's get dressed up. Let's get sexy. Let's get good looking. Let's get into our vibe. Let's start stuff up. What you can do if you're feeling like your partner is not being as intimate with you, and you're not being intimate with your partner, or y'all engaging with each other, or y'all trying to start stuff up, or y'all just going through your own process, which means like you wake up in the morning, y'all go to work, you go to school, whatever the case may be, come back home, and then that's just it. Y'all go to bed. Versus cuddle each other a little bit more, touch each other, slap each other on the butt, whatever the case may be, kiss on the cheek, give yourself a cuddle hug, like where you hold somebody from the back and just like hold them for a moment. Start that attraction, that physicalness up. Start going on dates. Start planning weekly dates where you guys get dressed up and look good, and you're like, dang, she looks fine. Like, start adding that back into your routine, where you guys will get excited for it, see each other get dressed up, you get excited to be around each other. Start telling each other how much you miss each other, how much you love seeing them, or sending each other sexy text messages. Maybe do a little something sexy in the dress room, in the bedroom. Maybe that could be lingerie. Maybe that could be I was trying to think of something a guy can do, like a suit and tie situation, and he dressed down, whatever the case would be. You can do something to spice it up where it's not just the daily routine, and that right there kind of get you guys down. The lingerie and the suit and tie in the bedroom, that is a super high level up there. But a slow thing you can do, start from like hugging each other to kissing each other on the cheek to kissing each other on the lips, slapping the butt, grab each other, hold each other, just little touches. Even sitting next to each other and you're touching each other on the leg, or the case may be, to get that excitement back up, holding hands, then going on dates. Those things get that excitement back running again, so that passion come back, and you start like you're not just roommates, but you're actual partners, that you actually are life partners, and you guys want to, start doing stuff with each other again, start being intimate with each other. So little intimate things like that, where it can be a hug, or touch on the shoulder, brush the shoulder, the kiss on the cheek, kiss on the neck. Start that up again. Go on dates. Hold hands. Get that excitement running. And then do dates you haven't done before. Don't just y'all go to Cheesecake Factory. Don't go to Cheesecake Factory weekend. Or you guys go to, a particular spot. Change it up. Go somewhere different. Maybe get a hotel room. Change it up. A spa day. There are things you guys can do to ignite that fire again, where you guys like, man, this girl was in her element. I loved her in that, and I can't wait to, give her the biggest hug and give her the biggest kiss and have a good night with her. And it's vice versa, man. He was doing this and he looked amazing, and and good looking in this. I can't wait to give him a hug and just hold him. Like, start that fire again and start just dating each other. Go back to what it was like when you first started dating each other. Yes, once, intimacy and physical attractiveness goes away, it seems like it can't come back. It 1000% can come back. And there's tons of books on that. The Gottmans, who do the 5 love languages, they have books on that. Esther Perel's another one who talks about that kind of stuff. Emily Nagoski with Come As You Are, that's another one that also talks about like this reigniting that physical touch and attraction with your partner. Some good books to look into, but once that stuff gone, once physical attractiveness and intimacy goes, you can get it back 1000%. You can go from being roommates back to being partners and lovers, and that is 1000% easy to do. Now it's gonna take both sides. I will say that before I end this episode. It's gonna take both sides to do that, not just one person. Both sides have to be able to be willing and be able to do that. And once both sides are going all in, you're not gonna have any problems. You're gonna have a great time. So thank you guys for watching this episode of Nerdy Dating. I really appreciate y'all. I'm glad to be back. Thank you guys for having me back. And see you guys next episode of Nerdy Dating. Don't forget, you can follow Nerdy Dating on Instagram and TikTok. It's alizakkanerdydating or alizakkanerdydating on Instagram and TikTok. You get clips of the show. Other than that, thank you guys for watching this episode of Nerdy Dating and keep being awesome. Thank you for watching this episode of Nerdy Dating. I really appreciate it. If there's another episode you want to watch, you can look at it right there. If you want to subscribe to the page and watch more content, it's down here. Also, you have a question about dating, you want to put it in the comment section, go ahead and do it. Or you can send me your dating question to my email of alizakkanerdydating@gmail.com. That's alizakkanerdydating@gmail.com. And I will answer your question on the next episode of Nerdy Dating. Thank you so much for watching the show. I appreciate you and keep being awesome.